Hello and welcome to Superpower Broadcasting. I'm Kevin Castley. Thanks for being here this evening. Today we got a fun one lined up for you. Send out some invites. We'll see. Maybe we'll get the Wyoming Warhawks in here. We'll see what happens. But we got a war going on Twitter right now. It's Aggressive Gremlin v. Aggressive Gremlin. This is pretty amazing stuff. So we got in the one corner the Buffalo, the bestiality defender, the the loudmouth. You know, he wants you to know he ain't angry. I mean, he's really angry. You think he's angry. We got Cenk 6% Uygur. Why 6%? Because he dropped $1 million, over $1 million, to run for Congress earlier this year. And what did he get? Oh, that's right. A little less than 6%. But we round up. You drop $1 million to come basically dead last, except there was a runner-up past him who spent $500 to get almost the same amount. You drop that kind of cash to get like 5.5% or whatever. We're rounding up. You're 6% Uygur. So he's Cenk 6% Uygur. And in the other corner, Assad's favorite water boy. Putin's favorite comedian. Dave Rubin's aspiration. Dave Rubin's idol. We've got neckbeard Jimmy Dore, a man who denies the genocide in Syria, a man who defends, the man who will go to bat 100 out of 100 times for Bashar the Butcher and his wholesale slaughter of the people of Syria. A man who despises the neocon ghouls, more than any dictator on the planet. Except maybe the Saudis, simply because the Saudis work with America. You're a horrible dictatorship out there. Yeah, if you're against America, Jimmy's going to love you. Jimmy's going to go to bat for you, man. So we got Aggressive Gremlin, the Fat Buffalo, Cenk Uygur, versus the neckbeard without a beard, Jimmy Dore. Oh, it's going to be a fun one. I really do enjoy this kind of infighting with the radical left. It's great. I mean, they always infight with each other. But you might say, how is this news? How's this even necessarily noteworthy? Well, it's noteworthy because these guys are really funny, and not funny in how they intend to be, but rather funny how they can even exist and people take them seriously. They're a bunch of goofballs. They're a bunch of clowns. Jimmy's absolutely 100% crazy. Cenk's 100% cringe. But we're going to take a look at this right now, and we'll see if some of the Hawks are able to join. It is pretty late, but let's take a look at the first one. Let's get into this. Cenk Uygur tweeted out earlier today, "I give a lot of shit, and I take a lot of shit." Yeah, he's the CEO of what he claims to be the largest online media network in the world. Now, is that true? No, but that's their claim. That's their claim, right? So, multi-millionaire Cenk Uygur, progressive icon, aggressive gremlin to the max. He says, "I fought 1,000 battles against every wing of every party, but I don't get sensitive about it." Yeah, we're actually gonna have to disagree. We're gonna have to agree to disagree there, Cenk, Mr. 6%. Yeah, you can call me a neocon ghoul. You can call me a chud. I really don't care. I've watched your show since about 2007, and for about 10 years, I watched your show every day. You seriously mean to gaslight me to say you don't get sensitive? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not personal, bro. It's not personal, bro. Spare me. I've seen the way Cenk Uygur talks about John Bolton and Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. To him, they are Satan incarnated on this earth. They are living rent-free in his head, unequivocally. It's not to quite the same level as Kyle Kremlin Kyle of Secular Talk. You know, the channel where they defend the terrorists and the Ayatollah. No. It's not to that level. However, does Cenk Uygur really want to imply after all these years of melting down on his show? I mean, this guy loses it often. Seriously, I've watched the show for well over a decade. It happens all the time. It's definitely personal with him. He despises the neoconservatives. It's absolutely 100% personal with him. And, he doesn't get sensitive about it or whatever. Oh, yeah, really? He doesn't get sensitive about it. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Full of it. And, and this is coming, look, this is coming from me. Now, I haven't really melted down on the show. Have I gotten super angry and crap during some of the earlier debates? I mean, y'all saw the debate with Millsrow. Y'all saw the debate with Cogent Canine. I mean, when Cogent was defending Stalin and basically saying that Stalin was better than Hitler because what Stalin was trying to do was good, whereas what Hitler was trying to do was bad. And I'm like, how dare you sanitize what the communists were doing? I mean, it pissed me off to no end, this idea that we're going to give the communists a pass just because they happen to be fighting Hitler. That's not good enough. That's a low bar. Anybody can stand up and say they don't like Hitler. That's not impressive. What matters is, what's your human rights record? How do you feel about democracy? What's your view on capitalism? The Soviets failed on everything. And not to mention the 60 million dead in Stalin's wake and the rest of the leaders, Stalin and Lenin primarily. Seriously, this was a case where if you watch that debate, yeah, I got mad. I got pretty pissed. Sometimes, especially in the earlier days, we get the haters and traitors coming in here, and we'd often stream 5-6 hours, and sometimes just enough of them doing genocide apologetics, anti-Semitism, etc. Yeah, you can kind of get heated, right? I'm not even going to come out here and say that I don't get sensitive about it per se, because I've read into ideology. I've read into history a fair bit. Didn't do a degree in history or anything. I'm aware of the genocides. I'm aware of the atrocities that were committed in Iraq under the Ba'ath Party, in North Korea under the Kim regime since 1948. It would be hard to not get sensitive per se about this kind of material, because I do what I do because I've been mugged by reality, to borrow a phrase from Irving Kristol. And I got to tell you, man, the world out there is freaking haunting. You don't have to see it with your own eyes. You just need to understand what's happened and to read the stories of those who actually lived in the continents of slavery. I mean, I've talked about it before. You can look into the work of Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who was imprisoned in the Soviet gulags. He wrote the Gulag Archipelago and One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. No, seriously. All you have to do is read One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. Short read. It's as short, basically, as the Communist Manifesto. Slightly more pages, slightly less words, basically. All these commies out there, these progressives and all that, they love the Communist Manifesto. If they can get through that, they can get through Solzhenitsyn's One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. You're aware of what actually happened in the gulags. And again, it's something that Stalin said, and it's kind of true, which is that, a million deaths is a tragedy, or rather a million deaths is a statistic, whereas one death is a tragedy. Reading the actual memoirs of somebody who went through that system, happened to survive it and whatnot, makes it a lot more clear. And it's something that you can bring to heart easier than if you just read the statistics of the several million people that died in the Gulag system. It's the experience of one day in the Gulag system from one prisoner in Kazakhstan in the vast swaths of the evil empire. Now, how you'd have to basically be in this solely like for the money, be a grifter to not get sensitive about this kind of shit, you know? Because it's like, I'm not a neocon because I'm like, oh, am I going to LARP as something? Am I going to be, oh, what am I going to be today? I'm not Ian Stevens, right? I'm not somebody who's going to be, out here like, oh, I guess today I'm going to be a neoliberal. And then in 6 weeks, I'm going to be a neocon. And then in 18 weeks, I'm going to be a Bernie bro. No. I have freaking convictions. And so in that sense, it's actually kind of a good thing to be somewhat sensitive about the world. I think that it informs you and it drives your passion, right? Cenk Uygur, on the other hand, not very honest here. I'm being straight up honest with you. I'm like, no, I'm not going to come out here and be like, oh, I'm a tough guy who never gets sensitive about anything. It's like, no. You try reading some of this shit, man. You try reading Alexander Solzhenitsyn. You try reading Ken Rose, the great leader of the fighter pilot, about his experience in North Korea under Kim Il Sung, and the absolute atrocities, the mass executions, and everything that happened over there, guilt by association, the Gulag system, etc. If you're not sensitive about it, you're a sociopath, you're a psychopath. Cenk, well, I don't know. Cenk is. I mean, he's a freaking progressive. Anyway, let's get back to this. He says, but I don't get sensitive about it. And by the way, I know that's not true because the dude has a freak out all the time on his channel, all the goddamn time. The dude has very thin skin. I mean, it's the sort of thing that if you ever saw those old greatest freak out ever videos with Steven, and I think it was Jack, his brother, who would always film everything. Those were great. Those were classics. Those were funny. I remember being like, middle school age and whatever, watching those on YouTube and like lolling with my buddies for hours basically over that stuff. And the sad thing about that series was, as time went on, that channel, Waffle Pone, would only upload a video about once every 6 months to a year. I think it's been about a year since the last Greatest Freakout dropped. It's nostalgia at this point. It is an afterglow of the absolute hilarity that it was in the days when they would just drop in fire. I mean, even if it's fake, those videos were funny as hell. Anyway, but fear not for those who miss Greatest Freakout ever, because I have good news for you. You can go and subscribe to the Young Turks. Because Waffle Pone, he uploads a video of Steven having a temper tantrum maybe about once every 6 months. The Young Turks, they upload a video of Cenk Uygur having a temper tantrum about every 6 weeks. So there you go. Doesn't get sensitive about it. He doesn't get sensitive about it, bro. Yeah. Spare me your nonsense, man. Don't try to gaslight me here. Anyway. Now he adds Jimmy Dore. Now this is where it gets fun. But before we get into it, I do want to take a look at the chat. I'm aware that people are here tonight, so let's take a look. Cenk has never been silly. Yeah, that's a throwback to Raheem right there. He told Wyatt he'd never been silly before. That was such a big meme. We laughed about that for hours, man. That was hilarious. We got Yefko Snitches says he despises conservatives in general. Sock says, you did get rather angry with Coach and Kana. You said, no, shut the fuck up. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. But, like, here's the thing. I'm not making the claim that I don't get sensitive, per se. I'm not making the claim that, I was all calm and cool or whatever. If you were speaking to somebody trying to literally sanitize Stalinism for 2 hours, you lose your shit too, bro. Mark my words. If you didn't, there'd be something wrong with you. So either you'd be ignorant of what Stalinism entailed, or you're a malicious little prick like Jimmy Dore. So Sock continues. He says he deserved it, bro. Or deserved it, though, rather. Yeah, 100%. Sock says, in spite of his lame jokes and weak nickname game, Kremlin Cow is far more charismatic than Cenk. I really don't see what people find appealing about him. He's literally a fat brown buffalo. I disagree. Disagree on the charisma point. Kyle, not charismatic. His voice sucks. He has a snarky, nasally, weak little voice. Cenk, on the other hand, more charismatic, more boisterous, higher energy voice. I disagree with them. I disagree with the both of them. Kyle, no. You ask me who's more charismatic, it's Cenk. It's not even close. Cenk is way more charismatic. But he still freaks out, and now he's trying to play it cool now. Dude, just own it. WR Winter says, wait, how many commies actually read? Good point. So, Cenk at Jimmy Dore. At Jimmy Dore has his feelings hurt so much, he lashes out wildly against all other progressives. His angle is to be the most quote-unquote pure. Now, here's a little twisty twist. I just spent about 15 minutes criticizing Cenk Uygur, calling out Cenk Uygur on his attempt to gaslight us here tonight. Cenk Uygur's not wrong in the second part of that tweet. Let's read that again. There we go. Jimmy Dore has his feelings hurt so much he lashes out wildly against all other progressives. His angle is to be the most quote-unquote pure. Yeah, no, that's 100% accurate. Like, you can hate Cenk, but that's true. It's true. And man, that's going to grind Jimmy's gears. Because Jimmy, he used to be at the Young Turks. And he had to leave because he was too pro-Russian for them. He was too pro-Russian for the Young Turks. Think about that. That's insane, man. The Young Turks does apologetics for the Putin system all the time. They want America to be out of the Middle East. They want America to be out of Europe. They do not want to challenge Russia. They're pathetically weak. The furthest that they'll ever go is, maybe some sanctions, bro, or whatever, which is just a meme. Like, Putin expects sanctions. He's like, wait, I can do all this, and the worst I face is sanctions? Oh, sign me up. Good deal, bro. No, Young Turks is pathetic on Russia. Absolutely pathetic. They're anti-interventionists. They want to defund the American military. Now, we, in my network, over at Henry's channel, we always talk about how these progressives, the aggressive gremlins, how they're ridiculous in their slogan, defund the police. That's absurd. But you know what's crazier than defunding the police? Defunding the Pentagon. Because if you defund the police, what's going to happen? Well, crime's going to go up. Cops are going to have less resources, so they're going to commit brutality more because they're not going to be as well trained and they're going to be under greater stress. That's what happens if you defund the police. Not good. Not good. Thousands might needlessly die from crime and excessive force because of poor training and fewer cops if we defund the police. Not good. Not good. You know what happens if you defund the Pentagon? You might lose the Third World War just outright. And then we're not talking about thousands. Now we're talking about tens of thousands times that amount in terms of the order of magnitude. Not even close. Young Turks support defunding the American military. So they are pathetically soft on Russia or sympathetic towards Russia. And yet Jimmy had to leave because he was too pro-Russian for them. So think about that. Think about that. That's like getting kicked off BreadTube for being too left-wing. You're like, wait, what? It's like, oh yeah, like we're a bunch of communists and socialists here, dude. But like that ultra-communist dude, he is a bridge too far, man. That's Jimmy Dore. That's Jimmy Dore. So no, Cenk's actually right here. Let's take a look at the chat. WR Winter says, oh, good Lord. I read ahead to Dore's response. Did you check that out on Twitter, or did you manage to read everything on the screen in that split second? We got Winter again says, didn't know I was rooting for Keek in this regressive scuffle. Yeah, no, I got to say, Oh man, Devin Tracy is such a huge meme. Devin Tracy's a meme at this channel now because Dylan Burns, Lil Dill, and Netzo Liz both invoked his name. They both summoned the legacy of Devin Tracy, Mr. Devin Tracy. And they both accused me of being a Nazi because I've watched a few videos by, one Mr. Tracy. Pretty funny stuff. Pretty funny stuff. No. Here's the thing about Devin. Devin's got some good nicknames. He's got some nicknames that are meh. Keek. That's pretty funny. Keek and Gank are some of the funniest nicknames I've ever heard refer to Cenk. Now, I'm biased. I think Mr. 6% is the funniest nickname for him. But that's because I came up with it, of course. But if you ask me, what's the best nickname for I was going to say Gank. What's the best nickname for Cenk outside of the ones that I've created? Because I used to call him Junk Jank. Now I call him Mr. 6%. But I think Geek and Gank are probably tied. I think they're probably tied. And now watch this get flipped out, right, by the next brainlet who wants to debate me and be like, Kevin knows who Devin Tracy is. He's literally Hitler, bro. That's what they're going to do. Devin Tracy's a left winger, by the way. Like, Devin Tracy and I would disagree on a ton of stuff. Devin Tracy doesn't even, focus on foreign policy or anything. Devin Tracy, though, happens to be right about the Black Lives Matter movement. He happens to be right about this bunk and junk attempt to sanitize brutal crime in the name of wokery. You don't get a pass on murder just because of your skin color. So, you sound like a Nazi. It's like, give me a break. So we'll get to the rest of the tweets. Sock says, I know next to nothing about Jimmy Dore, and I'm glad I don't. Bad enough, I know who Ben Norton, that's Bootlicker Ben, and Max Blumenthal are. Yeah, no. Bootlicker Ben and moron Max Blumenthal, those people are toxic. Those people are filth. Absolute filth. And Jimmy was on today with those guys and Mate. It was a pigeon circle jerk. It was pathetic. It was a lineup. I think it was a roster of 5 of them. We're bad. No, we're better. Russia good. Bashar did nothing wrong. The gas was fake. Well, maybe it was fake, but it would have been awesome if it was real because they deserved it. Because all those innocent kids were ISIS, bro. Yeah, no, those people are disgusting. Those people are absolutely disgusting. Arthur says, it makes me miss Devin Tracy. Yeah, look, everybody misses Devin Tracy, okay? Devin Tracy was a top-notch content creator. I haven't even seen that much of his. I watched, about a dozen videos around the riots. I watched some of his stuff before 2016. I missed out on a lot. But I can tell you, the man is talented. The man's smart. The man's funny. And he's also living rent-free in the heads of a lot of my opponents. Netzo Liz, Dylan Burns, and Daryl. Absolutely. I mean, he is persona non grata to them. The one who must not be named. The Rue, right? It's pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious, actually, just how, Devin Tracy, that you're going to call Devin Tracy a fascist. Give me a break, man. Sock says Ray Murasame also brought it up in Discord to smear me. How is it a smear? Okay. Can one of you lovely hawks, can one of you lovely warhawks in the chat actually explain to me how it's a smear? How this is even a smear? Because when Liz did it, it fell flat and people laughed about it. They're like, what? What kind of a piss poor attempt was that to try to Hail Mary this debate? Because you're losing, so you're gonna be like, oh yeah, well, you watch this random dude that I'm gonna say is literally Hitler. Basically, it was such a weak and pathetic argument. Such a pathetic argument. Uh, but how is it a smear? A lot of people watch Devin Tracy. Before he got nuked off of YouTube, I believe he had well over 100,000 subscribers. No, he definitely had over 100,000 subscribers. It was like 120,000 subscribers or something. Wait, how is that a smear? Like some of the fans of this show watch Devin Tracy, or you used to watch Devin Tracy. I don't know how many people actually went on to go and get a membership over at censored.tv. I'm aware that he's producing content over at censored.tv. I'm just busy with this show. I produce a stream a day and a premiere a day now every day of the year for you all because of the based and awesome patron gang. You guys power this, and we're growing big time. We're up a little over 21% in the last 90 days compared to the previous 90 days in terms of views. You might say, 20% or whatever. It's like, no, that's we're growing. It's obviously not going to be like Vosh rate of growth because Vosh just goes along with whatever the bandwagon of BreadTube is, and I'm out here being a literal neocon ghoul, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. But we have the hot gang. You guys are based. You guys power this. So I don't have that much free time. I work a lot. But if anybody wants to hook me up with a subscription to Tracy's, his show over on Censored.tv, that'd be pretty based, and I would watch him again, but I don't really have the money or the time to do so, and it's more I don't really have the amount of free time to dedicate that to justify the cost of it, which is unfortunate because he made some really, really, really damn good and hard-hitting content. And it's unfortunate that they just wiped him off of YouTube. No reason stated, nothing, no warning or anything. And it was stuff like that, watching that happen, that even though I was already backing stuff up on hard drives before, I mean, I'm damn sure to back up everything on like multiple hard drives now, so that if that ever happened to this channel, we'd have everything over on BitChute or wherever within like a couple weeks, because everything is saved from the first video I ever did a year and a half ago through all the live streams. They're all multiple copies, right? So even Vosh doesn't have that. Vosh just has, as he said, 112 terabyte hard drive. It's kind of lame. They have about a 2% failure rate per year. I split my stuff up over 3 drives per data set, 3 copies. So, But I was going to talk on the issue of Murasame. So about Ray, we are in talks right now that there might actually be a debate on this channel Tuesday night. I know I said I wouldn't do debates until the new year. It's almost the new year. She was going to go on Henry's show. They had to reschedule to Tuesday. But it looks like we might actually be getting to debate Ray. Like, now she might be too afraid to. She said before, I don't want to go on the echo chamber or whatever, basically. In other words, she wanted to do stuff on her channel. Well, I only do debates on this channel now. So if anybody wants to debate me, they come here. You got, like, that's how it is. That's how it is. So, and that's for a couple of reasons. But the primary reason is so that I can hold the copyright over the debate. And what I do with that, you get free reign to mirror it over on your channel. She can mirror it on her channel. I don't care. I'm not a douche like Dylan Burns. I'm not going to file a copyright claim because you mirror a debate. It's as much your content as it is my content at that point in terms of, you being here. But it has to be on my channel because I can't trust the opponents anymore to not screw me over. Now, how can they trust me? I've said it before. Because if I go and file a copyright claim against Ray, then all of you are going to think I'm a total douche. Why would I want that? So that's the insurance, essentially, that I'm not going to do it and that you can trust me because I care about the opinion of the fans, of the friends of the channel. So, that's how you can trust it. And it's going to be a neutral moderator. We're going to have Henry moderating if it goes through. We're just waiting on her response right now. But that might actually happen Tuesday night. So stay tuned for that because she is a pan-Asianist fascist and a simp for the Communist Party of China. Now, if you thought, well, how can you be communist and fascist? Oh, just wait. Just wait. You can definitely blend the two. There is definitely a crowd of people out there that's like, oh, why not both, bro? I mean, we've talked about Nick Fuentes in the past before, for example. Now's Bull Nick, nose picker Nick. You know, he synthesizes the two. He takes the worst parts of both and says, oh, yeah, give me those, man. Give me full communism over what we're doing now. That's a literal verbatim quote from him, by the way. Gank. Yeah, that's true. Jesse did pronounce it that way. I'm not going to pronounce that here tonight, but Jesse did. Winter says, Keek is hysterically good because Devin will go silent for 5 to 10 seconds and hit you with a full-bodied Keek when you're least expecting it. Now, I can't even do it. Like the way that he does it, he definitely puts a lot more energy into it. It's got a bit of a higher pitch to it. Definitely a lot of a more thorough rendition on his part, for sure. We've got, Sock says, they use it to discredit you, calling you a white nationalist or a fascist or whatever. Oh, yeah, because Devin Tracy is a white nationalist. Oh, sure. Sock says, Devin is the only reason to actually buy a subscription to Censor.tv. Yeah, I looked into who was on there. That's actually true. It's just a bunch of random, basically nobodies, and then there's Gavin McInnes, and then there's Devin Tracy. So Winter says, logic of the smear. Everyone either pretends or buys into the delusion that Devin is a vicious racist. If you don't at least play pretend, ipso facto, you're racist. But I don't care. These people think anybody who's not a woke progressive is a racist. Seriously, they do. And yet they'll make the most anti-Semitic statements when it comes to Jews. That's cool. That gets a pass. No, I'm not going to play their game. You know, people were accusing me of being a Nazi before when I tweeted out it's okay to be white. They're like, dude, you know that the alt-right uses that phrase as like a dog whistle. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. I don't want them to have a monopoly on that. Are we really going to give the alt-right and Nazis a monopoly on telling white people that they shouldn't feel guilty because of the color of their skin? Well, then all that you're going to do is have a ton of young whites who don't want to do the white guilt thing be like, well, if my choice is white guilt or becoming a Nazi, then I might as well put on a hood or whatever and be a KKK guy. That's stupid. That's totally stupid. And by the way, the alt-right did that as a troll thing. They did that to basically be like, oh, it's okay to be white, to make the media, to make the NPCs basically think, oh, that's a racist statement. The idea was to parody progressive political correctness. And they bought into it. They did the meme. They actually gave they took the bait. That's pathetic. Anyway, I think we were going to do a show on Jake and Jimmy, so we should probably get back to that. Yeah, his angle is to be the most pure. And then Jimmy responded. Cenk's executive producer, bad faith attacks, former employees. Then he blames the former employee for responding. I always get a kick out of like 4 or 2 when like 4 is used as a substitute for FOR or 2 is used as a substitute for TO. I always find that super funny because it's like a lot of people say, oh, it's a Zoomerism. It's like, no, it's not. It's kind of like, it's that thing from like the 90s with like the skater aesthetic and whatnot. It's like too cool for school, that kind of thing. That's the kind of vibes that I'm getting here right now from Jimmy, who's like in his 40s or whatever. It's just kind of funny, just to point that out. Because, you know, I will often, obviously, I have to try to get tweets down to 1 tweet rather than a thread. If I find it like 8 characters over, what do? My first go-to when I look at the tweet is say, did I write the word and anywhere? And if I did, I replace it with an ampersand. because that removes 2 characters. You can say a 3-character word in 1 character. Smart. 4? It's kind of cringy, kind of goofy. Yeah, for responding. By the way, this doesn't even look like 280 characters to me. I'm not sure. He says, is pro... Okay, this... We're going to stop the Chiron. I just want to appreciate the full cringe of this. This line right here, unbelievable. Jimmy says, Cenk's pro-war NATO dupe, Anna Kasparian, has caused this with her childish tantrums. Okay. There's so much to go over here in one sentence. And we're already like, this is going to take 15 minutes to dissect. Let's go back to it. His pro-war. Okay, so we're already in batshit territory. Anna Kasparian, not really pro-war. I don't know if you know this, but I covered it at the time. Anna Kasparian called Tulsi Gabbard, one of the people that was a negative inspiration to me to start this channel, that I felt so compelled and grotesqued out by, that I had to start this channel. And I was like, no, I want to tank Tanky Tulsi's chances, do my part to make her as unpopular as possible. She is filth. She is an apologist for Bashar the Butcher. She's friends with the SSNP in Syria. They are the Nazi party over in Syria. They are Arab Nazis. And they think that Bashar the Butcher is too weak. They want a stronger dictator. A more brutal dictator. Tulsi opposes intervention in Syria, obviously, unless it's the Russians doing it. Mind you, that's how this often goes. I did a video recently, you can go and check it out on my channel, entitled The Anti-War Crowd Are Really Just War Hawks for the Enemy. That's always true. Tulsi Gabbard, vocally anti-war. She supports Russian war against the Syrian people. Oh, how convenient. She supports Iran in their war against the peoples across the Middle East, from Yemen to Saudi Arabia to Lebanon, Israel, Syria, to expand their empire. Not to mention their people at home. But she doesn't care about that. She says that's their sovereignty, bro. They can do whatever they want. They could just kill their whole country. It doesn't matter. It's their sovereignty, bro. Divine right of kings, bro. Divine right of terrorists, bro. But even Tulsi Gabbard said that she supports at least fighting Al-Qaeda because they attacked America on 9/11. She won't even admit that the Taliban was an accomplice to 9/11. She says they didn't do anything wrong. She's that batshit. But even she is like, well, you have to do something about Al-Qaeda. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm anti-interventionist and all that, but like they did attack and all that. It's like even she wants to fight Al-Qaeda. And so what did Anna Kasparian say about that? She called Tulsi Gabbard a neocon who wants to continue the global war on terror. Wait, so Anna Kasparian doesn't even want to fight Al-Qaeda. That's how anti-war she is. Like even a lot of the libertarian people that are out there, they'll say, oh, I'm against war in any case, unless we're attacked. Well, Al-Qaeda clearly attacked the United States. Like what? Some of them are like, no, it was Bush, man. It was an inside job. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams, bro. Hashtag 911truth.ru, bro. That kind of libertarian cringe. But some of them are like, yeah, I hate war, but like the Taliban did attack America, so like you gotta do something. Even some of the libertarians get that. Even Tulsi Gabbard gets that. Tulsi Gabbard is vocally anti-interventionist, and even she's like, yeah, you gotta do something about Al-Qaeda. And Anna opposed it. But here's Jimmy. So Anna calls Tulsi a neocon. But then Jimmy implies that Anna's a neocon. We're going to bring this back up on the screen. This is amazing. His pro-war NATO dupe, Anna Kasparian. NATO dupe? She's against NATO interests. She's against Western interests. She thinks NATO's a bunch of war criminals. What? She opposes fighting Al-Qaeda. Literally. So you are off the deep end. Like, you're not just off the deep end. You're 40 miles west of where the deep end at the swimming pool even starts. This is Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore calling Anna pro-war. What war does she support? Anna Kasparian has caused this with her childish tantrums. Now, does Anna do childish tantrums? Yes. You can go and watch the Young Turks. Jimmy Dore? Jimmy Dore loses it. Jimmy Dore might freak out actually more than Cenk these days. He's just a deranged ramblings of a bitter old pigeon who's off his rocker and makes a lot of money to parrot Russian propaganda. He says, funny, when Cenk Uygur was begging to come on my show this year, he had no problems with me. Yeah, I'm going to press X to doubt on that one. I didn't see that drama. Can anybody verify if Cenk actually begged to go on Jimmy's show? I mean, Jimmy does get more views per video these days than the Young Turks does, but I don't think that Cenk begged him. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm just ignorant about it. I think that's BS from Jimmy right there. Sock says, that is true. It's okay to be white originated as a 4chan meme. Same with the OK sign meme. 4chan makes these troll posts and the media buys into it because sensationalist headlines make money. Oh yeah, I get that. I understand why the media buys into it. But come on, the people, the consumers should probably be smarter than that. Winter says, Dore in his 40s. Well, yeah, I thought he was like in his 40s. Jimmy Dore. Let's look up Jimmy Dore. No, he's 55. He's a boomer. He's 55. Okay. Arthur says pro-war Anna Kasparian. That's kind of like saying pro-atheist Osama bin Laden. You're like, what does that even mean? Pro-war Anna Kasparian. Those things are opposite. Olympian God is here. Jimmy is so damn delusional. Like, damn. W.R. Winter says that single sentence characterization of Anna is a 2-hour stream on its own. No. I know if Reese was here right now, he would say just that line. How do you even combat that? That takes so much time to respond to. It's not even really long sentence. He just says his pro-war NATO dupe, Anna Kasparian. Just that is a 2-hour stream to go over how insane that is. That is unbelievably out of touch with reality. Jimmy's like on Pluto right now. Chris is here. He says, hey, welcome to the chat gang, Chris. How's it going? We got Sock here. He says, we're against Saudi Arabia. You dumbass. That's the rest of it. Because Alex lost my kids to Own the Libs Jones, crashed their set. And he got in Cenk's face and Cenk got sensitive about it. And what did Geek say? Well, Genk's like, we're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass. We talk about that all the time. That's the exact quote. And why do I know that? Because I've seen that clip like 30 times now. I still almost die of laughter watching that. It's one of the funniest. It's honestly one of the funniest moments in television, YouTube television history of the last decade. It's just such a cavalcade of hilarity. I mean, how would you even outdo that? And it just goes on and on and on and on, and then Anna comes out. It says, "Get off the stage," and then repeats some expletives, and then Jimmy comes out. This was back when Jimmy was at TYT, and he's like, "It's Alex Jones," and now Alex is just like, "What the hell is that?" And then Jimmy's just like, "Alex Jones." And Alex is like kind of weirded out. He's like, he doesn't know what to do about it. He's like, that's Jimmy's thing. Jimmy's kind of creepy. He's kind of weird. He's also a comedian, so you can give him some pass when it comes to that. Even though we disagree with him on politics and everything, obviously comedians can be a bit more eccentric. They get a bit more of a pass, than the typical journalist might in that case. But you know what he doesn't get a pass for? Like, look, I don't like Alex Jones. Alex Jones is ridiculous. Alex Jones is pathetic. But Jimmy goes up to him and spits in his face on camera. On camera. No, Jimmy. And when that happened, Jimmy was almost 50 years old. Jimmy's a man-child. Jimmy's 100% a man-child. Nick Beard Jim. That is unbelievably gross. You watch the video. Wow. No. He's off. He's off his rocker. Jimmy Dore. Okay. Yeah. W.R. Winter said, looked it up. He's 55. Embarrassing. Also, very pleased that his Assad shilling is well documented on his Wikipedia page. Oh, is it? Because I know that a lot of the people that edit that website tend to be super pro-Assad and stuff. But, oh yeah, there you go. This is off of his Wikipedia page. It says, in May 2017, Dore discussed conspiracy theories over the murder of Seth Rich. We'll screen share. We'll screen share over there so you can see what we're reading. Dore discussed conspiracy theories over the murder of Seth Rich and questioned statements by law enforcement and Rich's family. Dore cited a retracted Fox News story to substantiate his claims and continued to insist that there were, quote, a lot of red flags, unquote, and there, quote, is probably something more to this story, unquote, including after the Fox News retraction. Oh, so he's a brainlet, of course. Dore has also expressed doubt in the official narrative of the 9/11 attacks, saying, quote, I don't know what happened. I know what didn't happen. What didn't happen is what the government said happened, unquote. Oh, so the big brain boys have arrived right there. Hey, man, I ain't saying jet fuel can melt steel beams. I'm saying it can't, man. Just asking questions, bro. Just asking questions. In 2018, an article published in CNN Money described Dore's show as, quote, a far-left YouTube channel that peddles conspiracy theories, such as the idea that Syrian chemical weapons attacks are hoaxes, unquote. Dore responded by saying of his show that, quote, we actually debunk conspiracy theories like the one that says Assad gassed his own people, unquote. Oh, that's like saying, oh, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm against conspiracy theories. I'm against the conspiracy theory that Bush didn't do 9/11. No, this is what I mean. He's one of the big brain boys. This is a galaxy brain take right there. Just the way that he says that is so petulant and childish and asinine and insane. Just wow. I mean, everything that comes out of this guy's microphone is just absolute cringe. Continues. In September 2019, the investigative journalism site Bellingcat reported that Dore had received $2,500 from the Association for Investment in Popular Action Committees in 2017 described by Bellingcat as a pro-Assad lobby group. That same year, Dore argued that the chemical weapons attack on the opposition-held town of Khan Sheikhoun was likely to have been a, quote, false flag, unquote. Oh, yeah, it's a false flag, bro. My USS Liberta, bro. My Gulf of Tonkin, bro. My jet fuel, bro. Yeah, no. This is the big brain boys, orchestrated by groups opposed to Bashar al-Assad. Yeah, in other words, Crazy Town, the lunatic circus. A joint report by the United Nations and the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons stated that the Syrian government was responsible for the attack. Yeah, you know why? Because even the United Nations, even the goddamn United Nations, the feckless United Nations, the impotent United Nations, the useless United Nations, even they recognized that Bashar the Butcher gassed his own people. Even they did. And Jimmy's like, no, man. The UN, they're just a bunch of neocons, bro. Yeah, this is amazing. Amazing. We're going to take another look at this piece in Wikipedia. In a July 2020 video, Dore erroneously said Joe Biden had once, quote, hosted a blackface affair with a bunch of rich white people, unquote, before Dore showed an altered clip circulating on social media since January, which had darkened the face of black singer Jerome Powell. One day after the video was uploaded, it received over 100,000 views, and has since been removed from YouTube. Discography? What? He does music? Wait. How did I not know this? I listened to well over 3,500 albums released in the 2010s. I would check album of the year like every couple days for years to get the latest albums to listen to and review them and whatnot. How did I not know Jimmy does music? A discography. It's not Brain Surgery 2000. No, actually, maybe it is. And it didn't go so well in the case of Neckbeard Jim. We got another one. Really? 2008. Citizen Jimmy, 2008. Yeah, well, he's a citizen. He just happens to be a citizen of the Russian Federation. So there you go. It's 2016. 2016. Those are Galaxy Brain names for albums, I guess. I didn't know Jimmy did music. That's kind of funny. Yeah, no, this guy, by the way, this guy just recently bought a $2 million mansion over in Beverly Hills on the money that he made defending the Russians and their brutality and the Assad regime and their brutality. Dude, if you're going to buy the mansion, at least buy it in Syria or Russia. At least get the fuck out. At least go and live there. At least put your money where your mouth is. At least walk the walk. Stop being a coward and go live over there. They always say, oh, when are you joining the military? It's like, dude, when are you going to go and join the regime? When are you going to go and join the enemy? You show for them all the time. It's easy. I've said this before in the case of Taki Tulsi. Look, it's easy to say, why not peace when you're Taki Tulsi living at Cushy on a beach in Hawaii? It's another thing to say that when you're getting gassed in the ass by Assad. You think those people wanted peace? No, they knew that if the world had intervened on their behalf, they would have a shot at democracy. The refugee crisis would have been averted. Hundreds of thousands of lives would have been saved. The Russians would have been expelled in their strategic strongholds at Tartus and Latakia from the region. It would have been an absolute boon to Western interests. And instead, we dropped the ball. And then the neocons get blamed for it. That's the maddening thing about this. People, a lot of the paleocons blame the neocons for the refugee crisis. They say, oh, you guys wanted war. Look at the refugee crisis. No. If we bombed the shit out of the Assad regime back in 2011 and went in there and liberated the country right at the beginning of the Civil War, The war would have been over in like 2 years. ISIS never would have been sprouting up there. This would have all been done and dusted a long time ago. The neocons want to end the wars by winning them. The anti-war losers want to let them draw on forever because they don't want to get involved because they're children. So, no, Jimmy Dore is a piece of shit. $2 million. $2 million house to tell young American kids that watch his show that Assad and Putin are great guys and that America is actually the bad guys. $2 million. $2 million. Again, think about how much money that actually is. That is a fabulous amount of money that he got paid to talk crap about capitalism, talk crap about American democracy, defend genocide, defend Putin's invasion of Europe. No. He needs to get the hell out. He's not on our side. He's a fifth column. He's an absolute fifth column. He's on their side. He's on their side. So, I mean, he bought a house in Beverly Hills. The Russians literally have multiple warheads targeted at that area. Like, the guys he shills for would vaporize his own house. How much of a cuck do you have to be Jimmy Dore? It's embarrassing. Just shilling for the Russians. Yeah, no, and a ton of people I went to university with are like massive fans of Jimmy Dore. You know? They're like, oh, he owns the neocons. Chris says, glad to see Jimmy is getting shredded. Hilarious. Arthur says, the funniest TYT moment is when they shamed Harambe memes. That's right. They said that Harambe memes were Nazis, bro. Jimmy beats his wife for sure. Oh, yeah. Look, he defends a guy who gasses his own people. Why would it be surprising if he beats his wife? He defends genocide. That would be like the least surprising thing in the world. It's like, oh, you defend a psychopathic, genocidal maniac dictator, and then at home, you act like a mini genocidal psychopathic dictator? Oh, who could have seen that coming? Who would have thunk, bro? Just a quinky dink. No. The guy is disgusting. The guy's despicable. Chris says, his commentary is more funny than his comedy routine. Yeah, not in the way that Jimmy wants it to be, that's for sure. FKJMS73 says, although I disagree completely with Jimmy Dore, at least he's more humorous than Genk. Genk is double to cringe. Yeah, no, I actually can't even go that route. Like, I'll say that about Vosh. Look, Vosh is a pedophile apologist, for example. He's literally defended the possession of CP, literally. Unironically, you can verify that. It's true. However, I've said, like, he's more entertaining than the Young Turks. Jimmy is like, he is far more pernicious than Vosh. He's far more toxic than Vosh. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. Jimmy is one of the most pernicious and seditious and nefarious figures on Western internet. And he's propped up by Russian money. So Jimmy Dore thinks AOC is a neocon. Lol. Yeah, I mean, everybody's a neocon. You know? We're all just neocon ghouls. Right? Just the neocon ghoul gang. Just a bunch of neocon ghouls. I'm sure he thinks Elizabeth Warren is a neocon ghoul. She's not pro-Russian enough for him. She's a neocon, bro. Yeah, I'm with Winter here. This is at FKJMS73. Disagree. Dore's just revolting. I can laugh at Gank all day long. That's true, because like Gank just isn't as toxic. Like, he's a toxic guy. He's defended and apologized for the Armenian genocide in the past too, right? But Cenk is just nowhere near as despicable and vile as Jimmy. Like, it's not even close. I've watched Cenk for about 13 years now. I've watched Jimmy since about 2014, 2015, off and on. Jimmy's like he is so much worse. I can't even describe how much worse he is. At least Cenk is still within the realm of normal progressive democratic politics in America. Jimmy wants to burn down the country. Cenk is like, go out and vote for Biden, even though he doesn't really like Biden. He thinks Biden's like right wing or whatever. Whereas Jimmy's like, no, don't vote for Biden. Burn down the system. No. Jimmy. Even Vosh, even the socialist anarchist Vosh is like, go and vote for Biden. And Jimmy's like, no, like vote for either like vote for Trump or like just burn down the system, man. No. And of course, why is he like Trump? He doesn't like Trump for the reasons why I give Trump credit. He likes Trump because he sees Trump as anti-war or whatever, which he is for the most part. And I like how it ticks off Jimmy how Trump has actually been pretty hawkish on Iran. So Arthur says, wait, do you guys hear that? FKJMS73 replies, what is it, Arthur? Arthur says, it sounds like Kyle Kulinski, our friend Kremlin Cow, the Russian cow, being quiet as Russia hacks America. Total silence. Crickets. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's kind of accurate. Yep. Where's Kyle? Where's Reese? Where's Reese? Yeah. FKJMS73 says, damn, $2 million will make one sell their soul. Oh, absolutely. And of course, the irony is he accuses everybody that he disagrees with of getting Saudi money. He gets big money to parrot Russian propaganda. So, absolute projection. Arthur says, I expected a, quote, debunk, unquote, video the second Russia hacked us. But this time, Kyle is ignoring it. W.R. Winters says, nickname idea for Dore, Trippin' Jimmy. Play on Slippin' Jimmy from Better Call Saul. Might be too nice for him, though. Yeah, no, I like Neckbeard Jim. Neckbeard Jim just implies all the most grotesque things that we associate with the fedora-tipping neckbeards that are like in Brainlet June's fan base, Shuon had, except he doesn't even have the neckbeard. That's why it's kind of funny. He's like a neckbeard in all aspects except for the beard. I don't know. I could probably come up with something better. I've just been too busy, but I hate Jimmy. And Trippin' Jimmy just sounds too lighthearted. Needs something more devastating. Chris says, he truly is a fifth column. He pushes resentment against the forces that make the U.S. great. Police, democracy, rule of law. He wants to tear it all down. Absolutely. I'll be back in a minute, though. Have you seen Richard Medhurst? He also likes Jimmy, but with zero comedy. Yeah, he is something else. Now, he's not even as bad as Jimmy from what he's pretty bad, but he doesn't have the same sway over the youth that Jimmy does. They're both disgusting, vile people, both fifth columns. They both own it, too, you know. Sock says, Kyle's ignoring the hack because he knows he can't discredit it. APT 29 has been active for over 10 years, and trying to refute it would make him look like an idiot. Look at Styx's video where he talks about the hack. He put on display his complete lack of knowledge on the topic. Yeah, no. I actually have an idea for why Kyle might not be talking about it. Just an idea. Just an idea. We're just gonna brainstorm here, right, my friends? It's the same reason why I wasn't gonna talk about it. And you might say, wait, what do you mean Kevin wasn't gonna talk about it? It's a hack against the West. It's a huge hack, right? I didn't even understand a lot of the details around it until I started talking with Kanzik about it the other day. Why? Because I'm a boomer. I had never even heard of SolarWinds. Like, because when I heard, oh, look, they got access to the nuclear information, I was like, wait, so do they manage solar energy or do they do nuclear energy? And it's like, no, it's just a name for a company, bro. No. I'm a total boomer, 100% boomer. I'm 27. Kyle's like 36. He's even more of a boomer than me. That's probably why he didn't cover it. It's not that I wouldn't have wanted to cover it because it's important. And it's not that he wouldn't want to do it to sanitize Russia. It's that probably as of 2 days ago, Kyle and me had no idea what the hell was going on, basically. So that's probably what it is. Just an idea. Just an idea. I think it's probably Occam's razor here, though. I think it's probably the obvious one because, look, if I'm a boomer and I'm like almost a decade younger than him, he's probably a boomer. So. Jimmy Dore is a neckbeard in spirit. Yeah, that's why I gave him the nickname about a year ago. Aw, Sticks, why you gotta clown it up like that? Well, he always clowns it up. I mean, his show is a circus from what I've seen, so I haven't really paid that much attention to him at all, actually. But dude's an absolute goofball. So we are going to wrap up well, no, I don't think we're going to wrap up the stream yet. I think I did have another set of tweets that I wanted to go over. Wait. We're still in the first one. I have 4 here. Okay, we're not wrapping up the stream yet. There's more to get through. We're going to be fast, though. So, yeah. Jimmy Dore replies to that and says, correction, they benefited way more from having me. I gave them, the Young Turks, progressive credibility that they were more than happy to fundraise off of while also taking $20 million in Clinton donor cash. In fact, one day, Jake told me I have to make more Jimmy Dores. Yeah? How's that going? By the way, Jank, Keek, Gank, you don't want more Jimmy Dores, dude. What are you doing? That's dumb. That's like saying I want more Abby Martins. Or I want more Kremlin Kyles. It's like, why? That's pretty cringe, bro. But this idea that the Young Turks needed him and not the other way around, bullshit. He was one dude at a massive network. I don't know if you guys remember Young Turks like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. They were huge. They were huge. A lot of their videos, especially around the 2016 election, would get like 500,000 views. No. Jimmy Dore is only known by people that are like Hassan Piker fans and Young Turks fans and stuff. He's only relevant in the progressive community because of his time at the Young Turks. At least have some recognition that your success is due in part to the guy that you're going after right now, Jimmy. I mean, wow. That'd be like me coming on here and being like, oh, yeah, like, everything's just me here. It's all just me. Nobody helped out with the channel at all. It was all just me or whatever. It's like, people would be like, dude, didn't Nightmare Fuel have you on when you had like 17 subs? It's like, yeah. I mean, now I put a lot of effort into this channel. But if I didn't have people like Nightmare Fuel and Billy Bong and Jay with their thousands of subscribers, if I didn't have them, in my community and my network and everything, I might still have less than, a couple hundred subscribers right now, and not as much energy and everything and not as often streams. And maybe the patron gang would be smaller and everything and all that. It's like, no, it's a community process. And the thing is, even if something happens where like Reese and I just aren't friends anymore or whatever, I'm always gonna give him credit. It's like, hey man, you had me on your show when I had 17 subs and you had almost 10,000. So that was a huge, huge hype factor, right? In the early energy for the show. Well, Jimmy got to be on Young Turks for a long time. He got to make his name, basically. And now here he is saying, oh, they needed me. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of like when I think it was I think it was Ninja or something saying like, that like Fortnite needs him, that he made Fortnite or whatever. It's like, no, dude, they made you. Like at some point you have to be humble enough. You have to step back and just let go of some of the ego. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, ego's bad. Like ego's bad. Trump has an ego and he's bad because the Orange Man's bad. So like ego's bad. It's like, no. Egos are good. But like, come on, man. In moderation. There's no moderation right here. He's trying to claim that he made the Young Turks, basically, that they needed him. Dude, if you didn't exist, the Young Turks would still be big. But if they didn't exist, you'd still be a nobody doing some cringy stand-up act, making maybe $40,000 a year instead of buying a $2 million mansion in Beverly Hills. So, like, I don't even like the Young Turks. But it's just so vile, man. It just exudes this sense of self-importance that's just so disproportionate. This absolute delusion of grandeur on the part of Nick Beard Jimmy here. He's a total man-child. Cenk says, you take normal political disagreements and make them super personal. But lately, you're saying things you can't possibly believe. You give us progressives credibility. You didn't do anything in news or politics before us. You were considered a progressive because you were on TYT. Like that right there. Look, I'm not a progressive. I don't like progressives. You can say, what voice do you even have to say in this or whatever, because you're not a progressive. So wait, no, here's what voice I have to say in this. I'm the head of Superpower Broadcasting. I'm a neocon ghoul, and I'm here to dunk on the infighting. I'm here for it, man. It's funny. So I get an opinion on it, and the hot gang gets an opinion on it. We're lolling and balling. These guys, they're fuming and dooming and feuding. They're not having a good time right now. They're destroying each other. I mean, they used to be allies, and now they're going at it. That is funny. That is funny. This is what always happens with the radical left. They always do this. They always splinter and then treat each other as literally worse than Hitler, bro. It's pretty funny. But in this tweet, whether you love the progressives, the aggressive gremlins, you hate them, you're neutral, doesn't matter. What Cenk said here, 100% true. Look, for just a moment, for one tweet, he's not 6% Cenk anymore. For that one tweet, he's 100% Cenk. He got 100% on that one. That one is right. That one's right. That one's absolutely right. I mean, that's true. That's true. There's nothing in this one tweet here by Cenk that I actually take issue with. That might be the first tweet by Cenk Uygur I've never had any criticism about. Not even minute criticism. So, Chris says, the longer the show, the better. Not necessarily true, because it's, I wanted to film some videos tonight. I'm probably going to do the videos instead tomorrow, some pre-recorded videos. But, everybody's having a good time here. We got, 15 people, one on Twitch. How is a 55-year-old white guy? Yeah, he's white. The benchmark for regressive street cred. Jimmy would say, he's the only progressive. There's no benchmark, bro. I am the bench or whatever. Yeah. We got Nicholas here. Lefty implosions, more. Oh, yeah. No, I'm here for it. Arthur says, I am Kevin's 12th apostle. I mean, subscriber low. That's actually probably true. I'm pretty sure Arthur was like one of the first 10 subscribers of the channel. So, Nicholas says, I'm definitely one of those who migrated to Kev after Reese became. Where's Reese? Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Imagine you're me right now. Reese is pretty freaking awesome. I love talking with Reese. I'm always hyped when Reese is like, yo, let's stream. Or I'm like, yo, let's stream. And he's like, let's do it. And we go live. That's always hype, man. We always have some high energy memes. We always go for like 3 hours longer than we were scheduled for. We always dunk on the brainlet brigades and the aggressive gremlins and the fifth columns and their ilk, right? It's always great. But from a cynical standpoint, yeah, it kind of helps the growth of the channel if I'm really the only hot content creator doing consistent content. Because if Reese is out there and Billy's out there and they're all making videos every day, 2 videos every day, that'd be awesome. But people might be, have to crunch their time and might have to pick and choose between them. And maybe this channel suffers because, like, come on, he is the OG hot god. You're probably going to watch Reese. So, but he's not making videos right now, so it's good for this channel. But we do miss Reese, so that's the downside to that. But Arthur says, left this 1 second after Trump is defeated. Guess I'll just kill myself. It's true. Jimmy was rooting for Trump. Whisper. No, what is that? WL Spider-Man 1356. He's doing the meme. He's doing the meme. Now, one of these days, this will actually be a real account and not a bot who's doing it to meme the bots, just having fun with us. Maybe like a Mills Row figure or something. They'll make like a random username and then literally just like do the copy pasta thing here. I always get a kick out of this. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on this random click.ru Russian website. Bigfollows.com. And he has to space out the dot. And now we've talked about this before. Sock on Brain is checked into it. It's a Russian site that is based in China. So if you thought it was bad if it was made in China, no, it's a Russian piece of shit made in China. So double the cringe. Made in Russia, made in China. Why not both? You want to become famous. The guy sold his country for $2 million. You think he has the dignity to value friendship or not biting the hand that feed him? I don't think so. I'm not even saying friendship. They're not friends. They hate each other. They've hated each other for a long time. And he doesn't get any money from Young Turks for a long time. But at least have the decency to recognize that you wouldn't be where you are today without the momentum that the Young Turks imputed into your career. Like, just at least have the decency to do that. That's what I mean. He's such a man-child. He's so full of himself. So full of himself. It's like he's like 13 years old. He's 55. He's 55. Come on, man. Sucker Brain says, yeah, we got another one in here. Yeah. Winter says, it took Jimmy's delusions of grandeur to force Cenk into contact with reality. Wow. Temporary contact with reality. Cenk's going to be back on Neptune soon. But Jimmy's on Pluto. Hell, Jimmy's in the Kuiper Belt. Jimmy's in interstellar space, bro. He's not even in the solar system. Like, the sun doesn't even have a gravitational effect on him. It's approaching like zero at infinity. Like, that's how far out he is from reality. So here's how Bernie can still win. Yo, it was a no good DNC rig, bro. It was rigged. Chris says, that's it. I'll be on Twitch so I can click the link. Olympian God says, "Careful, Kevin. The Russian bots are after you." Yeah, they're Russian bots made in China. Yeah, no, Jimmy's a boomer. Jimmy's a boomer. There was one more that I wanted to get to. Jimmy was fuming and dooming over on Twitter earlier. He says, "Sorry, but Cenk Uygur is misleading his audience again." This is a little while after that happened. Says, if Pelosi doesn't get enough votes, it doesn't get handed to the GOP. That's not how it works at all. Now Jimmy here says this is just a reference to some random election political stuff. Jimmy says, Cenk's gaslighting everyone now and running interference for the Democrat Party. Don't fall for it. Hashtag force the vote. Okay, what's funny there, we don't have to go over the substance of that or anything. Jimmy is accusing Cenk of gaslighting and says don't fall for it. Jimmy's the gaslighter in chief. Jimmy tries to tell you that Assad didn't do anything wrong. Jimmy tries to tell you that Putin's actually the good guy. That he's just a victim because like NATO promised they wouldn't expand, bro, but then they did. Because like the states in Eastern Europe felt threatened by Russia. So like Putin feels sad, man. He feels sad, man. No, Jimmy's the gaslighter in chief. So, wow. Just wow. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up the stream now. This went a little bit longer than I had anticipated. It was fun though. And I thank you all for being here this evening and spending the, Sunday night over here at my channel. I appreciate it. You could be watching CNN or some other cringe like Young Turks or whatever. Nope, you're here, and I appreciate that. So a lot of channels out there. You choose to tune in to Superpower Broadcasting. Big ups to all of you. I will be back, of course, tomorrow. So be sure to like this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. I do daily streams and daily premieres every day, every week. So that's credit there to the Patreon gang because we recently hit our first Patreon milestone, first threshold. That was $100 a month, recently passed. And at that point, I said, well, you do that, we're going to do daily videos in addition to the daily streams. So that's what we're doing. And additionally, you can follow me over on Twitch and Facebook. The links are in the description below. As well, if you would like to support this channel, you can join the Patreon gang over at patreon.com/superpowerbroadcasting and help power the streams and premieres every day and help trigger the brainlet brigades and aggressive gremlins and the anti-war haters and traitors. Additionally, you can also support me over on Ko-fi. So my friend Net7 hooked me up with a 2-year gold subscription over there. So we're going to be working on swagging that presence over there up for sure. But you can support me over there. And you can also support me by joining the PayPal gang. And recently, a few months ago, I had to spend about $1,700 on new computer equipment. And by this point, the Patreon gang, PayPal gang has basically essentially paid that off. That's awesome for a small channel like this. Obviously, the streams run smooth now compared to the crappy old laptop that we used to use. So, and even when the internet does go down, it's just a simple click refresh and then I'm back in. Whereas before, the stream would be down for 10 minutes because my laptop was so slow. So, I do want to just say though, I appreciate you all being here this evening, and I mean this really does illustrate why we'll win. Because we're not divided. We're not so conceited within our own egos that we can't work with other people. Jimmy and Cenk, they're incapable of it. Now, I understand why Cenk doesn't really want to work with Jimmy. This is more of a Jimmy thing at this point. But Cenk all the time goes after people in his own party, like nonstop. He's like, progressives versus everyone. That's his slogan. Oh, well, have fun trying to get the majority of people to vote for you, then. Good luck, bud. Keep at it. Keep at it. Have at it, Hoss, as Cenk would say. I like that strategy. It means you guys will never have a chance. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay based. Peace, Warhawks.